Please welcome onto court number 1 in the men's doubles, representing Singapore, Danny Krishnanta and Shayat Triashart, and representing Scotland, Robert Blair and Paul van Rietveld.
A huge roar as the pride of Scotland. Robert Blair already through to the semi-finals of the mixed with Imogen Bankier. And Paul van Rietveld take to the court. Again, very much the underdogs. They don't have a world ranking because they don't play enough tournaments at the highest level together. Robert, of course, travelling the world tour with Imogen Bankier, in which they are very highly ranked, up against the pair ranked 32 in the world and who've been in terrific form all tournament. Danny Krishnanta and Shayat Triashart.
Blue, please. Blue. Yellow. Shayat is up.
Apinda Sabharwal from India is the umpire for this one. Teo Kian Zhu from Malaysia will be his service judge. And as we give you confirmation of the lineup, Jill, I'm just thinking, do you think the Scots, again underdogs, not so much the underdogs, but still the underdogs, can take inspiration from what the Welsh did against the English?
Yes, to a certain extent, but you know, all these players have on court now have played on the world tour and are very experienced, and therefore I think that the Scottish pair will have approached this in a different way. They won't see themselves so much as underdogs.
32 years of age, Robert Blair from Edinburgh, living in Glasgow, where the Scottish team is based. Of course, has played for England in previous Commonwealth Games, and a silver medalist in the World Championships in 2006 with Anthony Clark for England. Paul van Rietveld, born in Edinburgh but living in Milton Keynes. He's 22 years of age, reached the quarterfinals of this event in Delhi 4 years ago. On their way through, they beat the pair from the Maldives in the second round, 21-7, 21-6. And then they beat the Canadian fifth seeds, Adrian Liu and Derek Eng, 21-18, 21-13.
So, Danny Krishnanta, 25 years of age, born in Indonesia. And he had a wonderful match earlier today in the mixed doubles, where sadly he went down. Lost out to Champion Soon and Lai Pei-jing and Vanessa Neal.
And his partner, Shayat Triashart, born in Thailand and moved to Singapore in 2010, 24 years of age. You look at him and you think, hang on, how can a guy of his size compete at this level? He does, and he has wonderful racket skills, and the way it works particularly is if Krishnanta is at the back and Triashart is at the front. Yeah, it was a wonderful mixed doubles in which Danny Krishnanta and Vanessa Neo went down 21-19 in the final game. Their route through, well, they beat the Welsh #1 pair, Morgan and Strange, and then they beat the Mauritians, and both of those in the straight games. 21-12, 21-18 against the Welsh, 21-11, 21-7. They beat the pair from Mauritius. Confirmation of our umpire. And the winners of this one, well, they will play either the Australians Raymond Tam and Glenn Wharf, the 7th seed, or they'll play the 2nd seeds, Chris Langridge and Peter Mills of England.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Dani Krishnanta Chayut Priyachat, Singapore. And on my left, Robert Blair, Paul Van Ritterville, Scotland. Chayut Priyachat to serve to Paul Van Ritterville. Love all. Play.
Spring's gone in
One,
the racket.
love.
Triachat in the first rally.
Service over. 1 all.
Oh, got in each other's way.
Yeah.
In fact, did Blair get hit?
Service over. 2-1.
No. No, he didn't hit his partner, thank goodness.
Three, 1.
The amount of strapping on the players, Jill, seems to increase day by day as the tournament takes its toll. Beautiful.
That is magnificent from Dani Krishnanta. Look at that. Just driving it deep into the back corner. Great awareness. This is not the start the Scottish pair wanted.
1. Service over. 2-5. Out. Service over. 6-2.
Just catching the top of the net and as a result falling short, and there total confusion in the Scottish ranks.
7-2.
Singaporeans play so fast and so flat. The Scots just haven't had a chance to settle yet. And there the skills of Triachat at the net.
Pushed it long, but somehow the Scottish pair, if they want to compete here, have really got to get themselves on the attack. In other words, they've got to get the shuttle going in a downward direction. Now, and the problem with the flick serve is it immediately gives your opponents the opportunity to hit down themselves. Look at that defence from Triachat. Absolutely magnificent. The first drive, flat over the net, immediately move forward.
Out. Service over. 4-10.
Delightful. Absolutely delightful. What a lovely change in pace.
11-4.
Utterly dominant, the Singaporeans. What can Andy Bowman do about this?
First of all, when three hours of serve, you've got to go past them. Yeah, go hard past them. Just be sure of it. It's the lesser of two evils with the guy down at the back. Yeah, taking him on rather than playing easy, around the net. It's just getting intercepted and around the back foot.
General play, Danny.
That's the thing. Once you go past, you've got to go either lay off in the straight because they hit hard. They hit hard, lay off on the straight and go up and over cross. You did it once. If you run it even earlier and go through the net player, but again, it's got to go cross. Lay off straight or hard through cross over or through the net player. Okay?
Sure.
11-4.
Once they get on the full attack, it's so difficult to get them off it.
Chaya Chart at the moment is seeing the shuttle like a football. He's reading the game so well. Totally dominating the net. There we are again. Isn't that just delightful?
14.
Well, not if you're a Scottish fan, of course, but as a badminton fan, it's wonderful to watch.
Never once have the Scottish settled, look comfortable. Look on even terms even with their opponents, let alone getting at them.
Service over. 5-15.
Yeah, that's nice play. Bit of a reverse slice on that final shot. Look at that on the return of serve. His racket skills, without question.
Service over. 6-16.
First time in the match, the Scots have won 2 successive points.
Just couldn't change direction, could he?
8-7.
Oh, it's pretty good.
19-7. Game point 7.
Oh, he's actually missed one chart.
8-20.
Not too painful when you consider they still have 12 game points. And those racket skills again.
First game won by
21-8 in just 9 minutes.
Danny Krishnanta, 21-8.
That's a lesson. New Quindon, the Singapore doubles coach, must be absolutely thrilled. And whilst we have a moment as you watch the replays, let me tell you, big surprise on court number 2, the number 1 seed in the men's singles. Chong Wei Feng is out. He's been beaten by Avi Gurasidut of India, 21-15, 8-21, 21-17. The number 1 seed in the men's singles, beaten. Well, Julie, you feel the Scots have to start well in this game, otherwise they're just going to be blown away. They've not pressurised the Singaporeans at all.
No, and I think at this level of play, not being a regular partnership on the World Tour and playing this sort of level of men's doubles, I think that inexperience as a pair is being exposed. You see the way the Singapore pair have worked together in that opening game, setting each other up, setting up the net player. We just haven't seen that so far from the Scottish combination.
Second game, love all, play. Out. Service over. 1 love.
Well, at least they're ahead in this game. They never were in the first.
Service over. 1, 2.
That's nice. Little block from Blair. What was I saying about setting it up for the net player, working for each other? That was a wonderful example. Singapore pair had been under pressure. First of all, the drop shot, then the smash. And smash is in such a place that he knows the next one is going to come back up into the hitting zone of Triachart at the front of the court. That's nice.
Oh, pity. At least they're getting into some rallies now, Joe.
3-2.
Yeah. And it's taken them a game to react to the pace of the rallies, hasn't it?
Service over. 3-4.
Loving it.
And let's hope they'll be going to mum and dad tomorrow and say, can we have a badminton racket?
Oh. Yeah, that's
Service
just
over.
tremendous from
5-3.
Got Robert Blair in the face.
6-3.
Wide, the serve of the middle line.
4-6.
And so is Blair's serve.
7-4.
You know, that's so disappointing. One of my very early coaches always said if your opponent has made an error on serve, the one thing you do is make sure they have to play the next point by getting your serve in.
Well left.
Service over. 5-7.
He pulled out of this quite deliberately, he was told to. Yeah, well out.
Service over. 8-6.
Yeah, that sort of error is simply because he's not used to that pace of shot.
Well, the Singaporean pair beginning to pull away now. 3 straight points. Scots needed that one.
Yeah, that's well played. Yeah. Wasn't easy. Shuttle upside down.
That's wide. Well, if they could just get at least one more point here and be in touch at the mid-game interval, that would be a huge improvement. Remember, they were down 11-4 at the first game interval.
Service over. 11-8 interval.
A bit more for Liu Qingdong to say.
And that's how we counter. We don't counter by hitting hard because the front guy's just intercepting.
Anything on this trio-chart guy is just, he's killing us.
Yeah.
But except at the back, he doesn't seem to...
Both one.
Yeah?
Both one.
Up that is where the competition is countering. Yeah?
That was a pretty blunt assessment from Robert Blair. I thought anything on this trio chart guy, he's killing us.
Yeah. But he did also add that play him to the back, and you know, he's doesn't look as if he's you know, any big guy, any big athlete has problems moving and changing direction. I think if at all possible they need to work him at the back of the court. But of course, that in itself is dangerous, because to work them at the back, you're going to start lifting shuttles.
There he was at the back, and this time he was setting it up for Krishnanta.
That's a lovely return of serve from Robert Blair.
9-12. Service over. 13-9.
Yeah, defensively. And the rebuild just not matching the opponents at all. His defence is breaking down too easily. Yeah,
14-9.
beginning to lose their way, the Scottish pair. Really important next two rallies.
And that's long.
15-9.
6-point deficit now. Surely that's beyond their capabilities.
16-9.
Right on to the back line.
17-9.
It's become a procession.
Out.
They need an
Service
error
over.
on the serve.
10-17.
At least they've made double figures in this game. But that's scant consolation for the Scots.
Service over. 18-10. Service over. 11-18.
That's nice. All starting with a good return of serve. Yeah, just taps himself on the head after the rally as if to say, think. Time is running out for the Scottish combination rapidly.
Yeah, these are 8 match points for a pair who've dominated this match from start to finish.
Service over. 13-20.
Just trying to go a little too cute.
14-20.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, at least they've won 3 points in a row. More respectability on the scoreline.
Why weren't they playing like this earlier?
Well, they've won 4 in a row. All they've got to do is win another 4 in a row. It'll be 20 all, Jill. But it's appropriate that Triachart hits the winner because he absolutely dominated the forecourt in that match. And to be honest, there was a gulf in class. They've been a class act throughout the team competition and the individual events. And thoroughly deserved the victory.
Match won by Danny Krishnanta, Chayut Priyachar, 21-8, 21-16.
21-8, 21-16 in just 25 minutes. And they now await Langridge and Mills of England or Tam and Wharf of Australia. And whoever it is, to my mind, the Singaporeans will be pretty firm favourites. And I suppose from a Scottish perspective, not a bad thing that Robert Blair now able to concentrate on the mixed doubles, where he and Imogen Bankier have the massive showdown tomorrow in the semi-finals of the mixed with Chris and Gabby Adcock. A match all of us can't wait to see. But this was total dominance for Krishnanta and Triachart. 21-8, 21-16, and it was only putting those that run of 4 points together that gave the second game respectability.
Men's doubles representing Singapore, Danny Krishnanta and Shayat Blair and Paul van Rootveld.
Well, certainly the Scottish players had the home support. But the way that the Singapore pair started the match, that was the very first rally. And that was a definite signal that Triachart was out to mean business. There was delightful change of pace all the way through that opening game, which the number 3 seeds from Singapore, Julie, took 21-8. At the start of the second, it was all much closer. The power, though, and the way they worked for each other, setting up the neck player,
3-2.
really was textbook. So in the end, 2 straight games, 21-8, 21-16. The moment of victory, and the number 3 seeds duly taking their place in the semi-final.